I'm Shenequa.
And I'm Andrea.
And you are listening to
So With This Ring.
So here we are on episode 10. And honestly, this is our finale.
Yes.
This is the last episode for this season. Season 1 was basically dedicated to dating. Mm-hmm. And so we are going to be jumping into season 2 within the next 3 weeks. So March 9th, we'll be back again where the focus is on friendships. And this is when it's going to be near and dear to our hearts because we've been dealing with a little bit of issues when it comes to friendships. So
it's gonna be interesting. And basically, don't miss us too long because you'll have time during that 3-week gap to catch up if you haven't been catching up on the episode. So I definitely want to give a big shout out to my girl Selena who came on last week for us. It was amazing. We had such a good time. She enjoyed herself. And we appreciate the feedback that we got from you guys. And also, don't forget, we still have extended the giveaway.
Yes.
We decided to extend it in honor of Black History Month for the whole month of February. So you have till February 28th to win that $200 gift card from Amazon.
That's right.
All you have to do is just show us proof of, purchase of Selena's book. Send it to us in a DM, right?
It could be in a DM, on a story or anything like that. Just show the fact that you've actually purchased the book.
Because listen, we got that $200 gift card burning and we really want to give it away.
Right, because I know that I could use that $200. I have things in my cart right now
that
I can definitely utilize that $200 for. But again, yes, thank you so much, Selena. We can't wait. And keep, go ahead and purchase that book or whatever, and then show it to us so that way you can actually enter to win that $200 Amazon gift card.
Also, I want to say we have been getting a lot of people that have been hitting us up, which we appreciate that. Wanting to come on to the show.
Yes.
So we are definitely working on that. We are getting back to you guys that have requested to be on the show.
Yes.
Which we are loving about the topics that you want to engage in and participate because we're here for it.
Yes.
We definitely want that, and that's the purpose of this platform. So definitely thank you for that.
Yes, definitely. And as far as with the new season coming up, we'll definitely have that opportunity where people will be able to call in and be physically a part of the show, that is something I'm really, really excited about. And for those of you who are looking for the previous show on YouTube, look, downloading was not letting us be great.
No.
So we're still having that current issue. But as soon as we can get that up and running for you, you'll be able to see that episode with Selena on YouTube as well as this one. Hopefully that won't be an issue.
Yeah.
But yes, and then also for the month of February, what we've been doing is recognizing and celebrating Black history.
Oh, yes.
Black history, first of all, foremost, is 365. We're very happy that we have a whole month to celebrate. And so what we've been doing on our platforms is actually shouting out those small Black businesses. Yes. So if you are a small business or anything like that, we want to support, much like the sweatshirts that we have on today, definitely from our romantic walks down in Target, just looking for those Black History Month that they're targeting, those, businesses and designers. This one is Jolie which means pretty Black. I'm here for it.
Yep.
And so they have really, really good items on their website. So if you can't find it on Target, definitely go to their website. I'm a fan. It's good quality. Wash as well, love it. So make sure you check them out, Jolie New York, and check them out as well, as they are a spotlight on Target.
And we're shouting out the brands. There's a couple of them. I could go in now, but we are definitely putting it on our page. We already highlighted one, which is another one of my favorites. My girl Ty from NYC Kid. I have to shout her out right there, and then check her out. She's local based in New York City and amazing.
Yes, definitely. And then the one previous to that was Made to Stand Out, another Black owned business that's family oriented. If you're into hoodies and sweatshirts, as we both are, and being able to pair it up and make it versatile, they're definitely another brand that you want to look out for. And then also take a look into that because we do give you a code where you can get some things discounted.
Yes.
The main goal is to make sure that these businesses are being recognized, so that way they can get some change in their pocket too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And then I got one more because one of my favorites, they're out of Detroit. It's called God Got Me. They're amazing. I buy them for a long time. If you follow me on my fashion page, I tag them. So they're another great brand that sells amazing sweatshirts, socks, everything. So check them out as well.
Awesome. And we'll make sure that we'll place that on our Instagram page so that way you'll know exactly. You could just click on it and just go and follow them. So let's get into this episode. So again, this is episode 10. And this is
I think you're my soulmate.
So you're my soulmate. So this is our opportunity to basically share in when we knew the person that we're currently with and currently married with, was our soulmate. And before we even jump into that, wanted to find out like what our definitions of a soulmate will be, because that resonates differently with different people. So what would you say, like, what is your definition of a soulmate? I mean,
finding that person that deals with all my mess, because I'm a whole mood.
Okay.
I'm a whole mood, and I think it takes a person that can, get with your personality and can handle that, because I know what type of person I am. We all say that we're strong, but I am challenging. I am very complicated. I am loving. I am friendly. Look, this is my soulmate right here in friendship, because she gets me, if you want to go there, because she gets me and how I am. But for my partner, with my husband, I just knew he could get, because it was a balance. You can't have the same person if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see two of me in a relationship.
That would clash real quick. It would clash real quick. I mean, for certain situations, it'll be like, all right, I know that person is down because we're the same. But in certain instances, I'm going to need somebody to be a little bit different, to give a different point of view of certain things.
But just going back into thinking, like, what would be the soulmate? It would just be somebody that understands, like somebody that be understanding. And I always say willing to fight for me, not physically fight, but it's like defended and being in my corner, because that's what you need. Somebody that's supportive and loving. Those are the things that I look for in soulmate. How about you?
It's very similar. The same thing. Who's going to be able to accept me for my flaws and all, and still be like they're my ride or die. My, there's going to still be my voice of reason, but at the same time, when things get down to the nitty gritty, then they're down to like fight, whether it's like physically, emotionally, things like that, just to be there for me. And you made a good point, because soulmate is not just on the basis of like a romantic type of thing with having like a significant other, but it's also dealing with your friendships. You can find your soulmate in a friendship as well. It's funny because her name is, what is it, Sweetie? Yeah. She has that song Best Friend with her and Doja Cat, and at the end of it, she's just like, you're my mother effing soulmate. And it's just like, all right, that makes sense. Your friends can also be your soulmate as well. It's whatever it is that you have that strong connection with, that strong chemistry that you find or whatever, then that is a person that can be considered your soulmate. And so that's how I would see soulmates for me.
Now, I'm not trying to ruffle nobody's friendships. I was just saying, because I just put that disclaimer, because the girl, I don't want to ruffle.
Oh no, not at all. And perfect segue to know what our next season is going to be focused on is on friendship. So season 2.
Yeah. But we're going to reel it back in, because we
keep it with the dating. Keep it with the dating. So as far as soulmate, for me, I knew that my current husband was my soulmate. Honestly, and it was just from us going to karaoke. It was something as simple as that. Nice. And we were literally sitting on both different sides of the room or whatever, trying to figure out like what song we were going to do. He was like, do you want to do a song together? And I said, sure. When it came time for us to go up and select the song, I was like, I think we should do this. And he already finished my sentence. We were going to do A Whole New World by Aladdin. As corny and how...
I love karaoke,
you know what I mean?
So
but
that's my thing.
But like a Disney song, like what would you, like what person would actually come up with the same idea, like let's do this Disney song? That's been our song ever since. If we could have danced at our wedding with A Whole New World by Aladdin, we would have, but we was just like that other song that we chose like resonated with us a little bit more. So that's how I knew that was my soulmate. The fact that like a silly situation like that, we already knew, like we both knew that that's exactly the song that we were going to do for karaoke. It was just like little things like that. So it doesn't always have to be like something big and dramatic. No. But that was when I knew for me, like, okay, I think he's the one. Yeah. This is the person that can understand me.
Okay. Well, me, it was just more of, I think the interactions that we had, like we would, I think like I said, I think I told you the story offline, that when we first started dating, he had went, I think I said on here too, that he had went away and called me the whole time.
Yes.
And he's not a phone person. Anybody that knows my husband, he is not a phone person. He will be on the phone with you for less than 5 minutes. Don't even text. So we was on the phone for the whole time of vacation, ran over the minutes. That's when we had,
that's right. And you were saying like the family would ask her, who you on the phone with for so long?
Exactly. And I think it was more of the just doing things. Because, most of the time when you meet somebody, they're not, people have their ways, like, I'm not really interested, but taking an interest into the things that I like to do. Yes. And, just, if I say, hey, can you pick me up and take me somewhere out, with my friends, would stop what he was doing to pick up. And, it was just, I knew. And even the conversations and the stuff that we had, I just knew that he was doing.
Right. Well, conversations is definitely important for me. If you can't hold a conversation for me and it's dry, then it's just not going to work out. I like to be able to talk to people. I may not like to talk on the phone, but when I'm in front of a person, I want to be able to like bounce the ideas off of each other, like have a conversation. If I can't have it with you and it's kind of like I'm talking to a brick wall, I know for a fact that that's not going to work out. Because at the end of the day, I could be sitting in my house just, you know, talking to myself or writing it down like a journal or something for all of that. But if you're going to physically be a presence here, then make your presence useful. Like I want to be able to have that connection
not
with
just
you.
Like duh. That kills me, like the duh. And I'm a talker, so as the opposite is like I can carry a conversation. Anybody who knows me, you know I can carry a conversation. Right. So if you can't be in a conversation with me, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm just saying if you don't, but you know, it's just finding that. I just say it over and over again, just finding that person, because it's amazing. Because it's like I'm a person that I get mad easily. You know that you've seen me. When I'm mad, it's to the 10th power. People that really know me. And he is the total opposite. His motto is like, why to get upset about things like that you can't control? And that's what I'm saying, just having that balance. Yeah. And it's really true what they say, like opposites attract, because you don't realize like how much you need that difference of opinion to basically balance you out. Like for me, for example, like he is not a fan of, he loves it. So it's kind of like he loves it, but then he hates it. He loves the idea of the fact of me being such like a giving person, but he hates it at the same time. Because he's just like, you do so much for others, and then at the same time, you don't allow people to do for you. And it's kind of as if they're trying to take advantage. And this is when I feel as though like he wants to step in and like take charge to say like, okay, this she can't really be doing. Like you can't always have her being the one always doing things. It's to cut in, because sometimes we overextend ourselves. Right. I think that's what happened. And he had saw that a while back. Reflected, like, I will always do everything. He was like, no. So certain things he made sure. He was like, listen, I'm going to make sure you have the good time. If nobody else does it, I'm going to make sure you have it, whether it's your birthday, outings, events, just because I'm going to make sure. Right. I get that. And that meant a lot to me, because I'm big on stuff where you're always being, you know, disappointed by others. Yeah. Oh. It was like, this person's like, listen, I'm gonna make sure we don't need nobody else to go. Right. We'll go ourselves and have a good time.
Right. Right. And so that was basically, and especially for birthdays, because you know I'm big on birthdays. Yes, and so I'm always girl, what are you going to do for your birthday? Oh, you're not going to do anything? Okay, why? Why not? Yep. Because to me, I feel as though that your birthday is the one opportunity for you to be selfish and to worry more about you. So I take my birthdays personally. Like as soon as the new year comes, January 1st, I'm like, all right, I know I got 4 months, a good 3.5 months for me to plan towards my birthday. Let me try to put some things, you know, going down, like what I'm going to do. And he's like, well, maybe you need to take a step back. What if people want to actually do something for you?
Nope. And I'm just like, people, I like to celebrate myself. I celebrate all month long. I even use my husband's birthday. I don't like to celebrate as my half birthday. So therefore,
half birthday. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting.
So I say I'm turning the same age again. So I get to have myself a summer birthday and I have my fall birthday.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that. But yeah, going back to that, like I'm always the person that's always planning ahead for my birthday, and even reaching out to like family members and friends, like, hey, your birthday's coming up. What's the plan here? You don't have anything planned? Okay, let me help you plan. And when I say let me help you plan, I can already feel my husband on my back. What are you planning? Yep. Why do you have to plan?
I even tell her to chill out. She tried to do it with me. I'm like, girl, go sit down somewhere.
And I'm still going to do it because it's just out of the kindness of my heart. I want to make sure that my team, my family, they're good. And I want to make sure that they're being celebrated to the utmost the way that they should be. You know what I mean? So, but just having him in the background to say, like, listen, I think you're doing too much. Allow other people to do, you know what I mean? Like, allow other people to have that opportunity. If that person has a best friend, allow the best friend to do it. If that person has a significant other, allow the significant other to do it. And it's kind of like, I'm not thinking about those things. Like, I'm not trying. It's not a matter of me
and you don't mean no harm, but it's just still.
And so, like, in certain cases, I think people feel it's kind of like trying to take the limelight. That's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make sure that my friend is celebrated or my family is being celebrated. So wherever it is that I can help, that's what I try to do.
Yeah, but it's a check-in. And that's what's important to me. You need somebody that can check you. Right. If your partner can't check you, then that's not good. It's
respectfully.
The same thing. Respectfully. Not saying check, but it's the same thing as in, friendships, because of course your relationship, you're married to your partner, that's a friendship as well. We gotta put it like that.
Right.
As well. So if they're able to check you and pull you back in respectfully to let you know, like, listen, you're doing a little too much.
Right.
Like for me, mine's like, listen, you need to chill out. What do you need help with?
Right. Exactly.
You need to say something. I'm like, my motto is, why do I always gotta say something? You should know. But I have to get in that mindset
that
I can't think everybody knows and assume. And that's the reminder that, my husband lets me know, like, listen, you got to open your mouth and say what you need help with. I'm not a mind reader. You got to figure out, and I'm going to help you what needs to, get done. So that's important as well,
Being vocal about it. Yeah. See, that's the one thing that I'm not vocal about it, because of the simple fact that I like to just do things by myself. I love to hold, not so much that I need to, but I like to have things under control. So that way things don't start spiraling. I was talking about that in the car. Yeah. When things don't go according to plan, it really...
But you have to, you know what? It's so funny you say that, and I don't want to cut you up. It's like it bothers you, but you have to look for somebody that's like that, to the point that it gets me like, right. It's like I had to, like, this weekend. So funny. This weekend, I was let me sit back. I said, let me sit back and just chill out. Like, chill out from just doing the most, whether it's trying to be up there in social media, just doing everything that I normally be trying to go out my way to do. And I was just chilling, relaxing. And most of those times, that's the best time, because I need to take a step back and relax. And I felt good.
Yeah.
Like, I really felt good that I'm like, okay, I'm ready to take on the week. I'm not even putting this pressure on myself anymore. And that's it. And I told my husband about it. He was like, yeah, you do what you can. And he always, for many years, he's been telling me this, because we've been, around the block for a minute. He always told me, do what you can. And I used to be like, okay, no, but you don't get it. And I'm like, you know what? I do have to do what I can, because at the end of the day, these things is not important. What's important is that, the health and well-being of my family.
Right, exactly.
And spending, that time with them.
Right.
And that's the constant reminder.
Right. And that's the idea of having a soulmate, to be able to say, like, listen, I really think you're doing too much. You need to scale it back. And even for me, like, this week has been a stressful. It's been a very stressful week. And leading up to this week was even more stressful. And just knowing that, he was just there like, what's going on with you? Yeah. You're not yourself. You are, you need to relax, because at the end of the day, you have a son that is looking out for you. That's dependent on you. And if you are taking on too much unnecessary stuff, then how can you really be there for him? And that put a light bulb on, because it's just like, I'm trying to be Superwoman. That's what I'm really trying to be. As a female, I'm independent. That's just the way that I was raised. Being able to just do things on my own, it's kind of hard for me to even look or ask for help.
It is.
And just knowing that I have a partner there to say, like, listen, I think you're doing too much. It's okay to ask for help. It does not make you look it doesn't make you It doesn't make you look like you're weak or anything like that. But even the strongest person needs help sometimes. And that's the purpose of actually having like a soulmate, whether it's a friend or a significant other, because where you are weak, that person can be strong for you. You do not always have to take the load on yourself.
And knows what you need.
Exactly.
Whether it's just, some affirmations, some,
your love language.
Yes. Going back there, you love the affirmations, the encouragement. That, you know what, I see you overwhelmed. We're going to go out. We're going to go out for lunch and chill out and hang out and have or just having conversations. Conversations is the key. You do not know how many relationships do not sit down and have conversations.
For whatever reason.
Like, they'd be like, oh, we don't communicate. Like, communication is key. That's I think I need to make like a sweatshirt that says communication is key. Because that's like, in any type of relationship, that is the main thing. If you're not communicating,
honestly, that's the bane of our existence. You need to communicate, regardless if it's like on a personal or non-professional level. Everything you need to make sure and be able to communicate, and then even with that, even be comfortable enough with the person to communicate. If you are not comfortable, then maybe that person doesn't need to be in your life. If you're uncomfortable with having these conversations with them, you know what I mean. So it's just finding that person that you can really connect with on all levels, and not feel as though that be afraid. Like, okay, if I bring this to their attention, they're going to be upset or they're going to feel some type of way. But you know what? Not every conversation is going to be a savory one.
Nope.
Some of them is going to be kind of like nerve-wrenching. Some of them is going to be like, I don't know. Exactly. At the same token, you should be able to know that other individual, to know that you're not coming from a sense of like malice or being vicious or whatever. You're just saying what it is that you need to say. Now, keep in mind, there is a way because there's a way that you can say things. Because I'm very big on tone and delivery. Ooh. If you are coming to me with a very bad tone and delivery, then I'm going to look at you like, I don't know what you just said.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to have to rewind and say it in a different way, because because it's just a matter of tone and delivery. Mm-hmm. We can still have a conversation. You could still disagree with me, but that does not mean you have to get loud just to set your point. Yeah. You and I, as adults, should be able to sit down and have an adult-like conversation.
That's like text messages. Ooh.
Right. Text message definitely gets misconstrued, especially when a caps. I'm like, what's the caps for?
Oh, we yell
and sometimes the phone does crazy stuff, and it will cap something, and I'll be like, okay, so what's going on here? Why do you have this word caps? Like, even in email too.
We yelling at.
Like, why? What's the purpose of that?
I have to look up the phone. When I see that, I don't even bother. I'll be like, you good?
For clarity, just to make sure you have everything under control. But that's really more so about like the whole idea of having a soulmate, and then also this also resonates with your friends as well, and making sure that you have like a healthy relationship with them, make sure that the chemistry is still good. Yeah. Because as far as I feel, when the energy is off. If the energy is off, you can feel it as soon as you walk in the room. Like the tension is thick, things like that. Even in your relationship, with your marriage, or your, whoever you're dating, friendships. But when you get around certain people, that there is something off on the basis of the energy. I'm really big on energy. The energy seems wrong, I'm gonna pull you aside. We're like, okay, what's going on? Things just don't seem like things. And if you are gonna sit there and not be honest with me, then I mean, I'm gonna know in the back of my mind, yes, there's something going on. When you're ready to tell me, you'll let me know. Yeah. And at the same time, what I don't want, and I think that what happens is that there's definitely an issue. You try to approach them and say like, okay, let's try to resolve it. They're not ready to resolve it, so they continue on with the same kind of bad energy. Exactly. And at that point, you got to take a step back and be like, all right, I'm gonna have to love you from a distance because I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm not gonna play the childish games. If you're not gonna be adult enough to have this conversation with me, to tell me what it is, what's going on, so we can work on fixing it, then there's no point at this point.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with everything. That's even in relationships. Sometimes you have to take a step back to just not say things out of anger, I want to say, and making sure that you're clear with what you're speaking about. Like, this is what made me upset. Yeah. Like being able to come back to the table and talk about it and express it. And that's what personally, for me, that's what I've been working on. Like, to make sure, because I always think somebody assumes, or that, my husband assumes, and I have to get out of that mentality that, no, you can't assume. Like, let me tell you what's going on. It may offend you, or you may not get it, but I need you to understand this is why I'm upset and the reasoning. You may not agree with it, but I just need you to understand this is why I'm upset.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, honestly, not everybody's going to have like a final agreement. You may agree to disagree.
Exactly.
And, but the thing is that to go into having to tell someone this and feel as though like at the end of it, everybody is going to be cool and have the same understanding. That's not going to be necessarily the case. No. But just know that you're taking the best step on at least having that conversation to understand what's happening, so that way both parties have an understanding, and there is nothing that's secretive or hidden. Everything is out on the table, and people can go about it the way that they want to go about it.
Yeah, but let's think about it a little bit more further. You ever heard the say, because it just popped in my head. You know how people always say, did you ever believe you got more than one soulmate?
Yes. Yes, I definitely heard that. I heard about that.
What do you think about it?
I mean, how many of us is here in this world? And you know what I mean? It's not for you to say that there's only one person that is meant to be your soulmate. That's not the case. It's on the basis of who you feel is the right person for you to be with for forever. That's really what it is. But you can be soulmates with so many different people, not necessarily with the person that you got married to. Exactly. But it's on a different level. Like, I feel as though it's different levels to your soulmate.
I wanted to ask that because I felt like that would be a question that we would be getting. Like, do you believe? So I'm like, this just came in my head. I was like,
yeah, of course. Like, I've like my soulmate with you is going to be different with a soulmate with another friend. Yeah. And my soulmate with my husband is always going to be completely different from any male friend that I may have. But the thing behind that is the different boundaries that you set on that. Because there's definitely boundaries per soulmate that you have. Exactly. I mean, going back to like friendships and stuff like that. You have friendships from like different walks of life, and I don't want to give too much because we're going to get into that. But even with that being that little tidbit that I'm saying, you're going to have like different relationships and different chemistry with different people and walks of life or whatever. So that's going to also be the same with your actual soulmate or whatever, because still with the person that you're with and that you're married to, building a relationship with, you're learning something new about them on a daily basis. And you may not necessarily understand it or know, or just in the back of your mind, but seriously, you really are. Like, it was just until yesterday that I realized that my husband doesn't like soup. And I'm like, what? Right. You know what I mean? Like, it would be there if it was like the last thing there, he would eat it. He would tolerate it. But it's not something where he's
like a
like,
certain type of soup?
No, it's just soup in general. Oh. So it's just like, the fact of like, if I was to cook like on a warm,
but you know what? I can see that. So this is the funny part. Did he grow up? That's what they made, a lot of soup, and that's why he.
But they made a lot of different things. You know what I mean?
But did they particularly? But was soup was the thing that they made frequently?
No, not really.
So that's so funny. What I don't like, if people look at me like, what? I can't stand. I think, and it took me a minute to go back to eating salad, but I can't stand. And my husband knows this French dressing. Huh? Oh, I can't stand French dressing. And hot dogs.
Oh, I don't eat that.
I don't eat hot dogs.
I don't eat
like, and I used to college. But what happened was, growing up, I had a babysitter, and that's what I used to get. Y'all gonna look combination. This is all time, but still, it's funny. Hot dogs with a salad with some French dressing on it, and that's what. Yeah, so that's why it took me a minute to even like that stuff. So it's kind of funny because my kid is the same way. So if it looks funny, I won't eat it.
No, if it looks funny, I'm not going to eat it. But hot dogs on salad or French. So each his own. Like, everybody is different. I know,
but that was the meal.
Right.
But, and I had no choice but to eat that meal a day. However, however, that's the thing. Like, perfect example. I don't like people laugh. My friend told me I should say that. Fun fact about me, I don't like gum. I don't chew gum. I don't like the sound. No, I'll tolerate it. So my husband knows. Like, don't even try that. Don't even bring that this way. Don't even think. So, it's just knowing certain things. Mm-hmm. Knowing certain things about
that you're learning each day. Yeah. Like, I didn't even know the part of her with the gum, and I have gum in my mouth as we talk. So I don't know if that was a little shade.
No, I'm not throwing shade. Oh, okay. I'm not throwing shade, but I'm just saying, like, it's the funny part.
Yeah.
Like, somebody said, really? Because another friend said, I never do it. I said, yeah, I don't say much about it.
Right, and that goes to show, like, not every friend is going to know this, like, everything about you. It's whatever it is that you're in conversation with them about, but with more so with your soulmate as it pertains to, like, your significant other, person you're married, person you're in a relationship with. Mm-hmm. Again, even with that, you're learning something new about them every single day. So, like soup. And it was just a matter, for me, I'm kind of like, that's kind of took me aback because I'm like, soup is usually used for comfort. Like, that's a comfort food.
To make you feel good. I love it. I love
tomatoes. And then for me, I know when I was in college, like, them cup of soup, ramen,
that's what you want to eat. Jungle, yep.
I still
to
this day.
Put some little carrots and you like doctor it up and
listen.
That's what I heard. You have this on a whole
You got to put some razzle dazzle to the cup of noodles when you're in.
It's funny when you said that because my husband be like, when it's time to go out to eat, he's like, you go pick it because you the one that's picky. Right. I can eat, and he'd be like, I can eat anything. It's you. Mm-hmm. I said, I can't help that I'm picky, and I said, I got picky. Before I wasn't even like that. I'd be down for the cause. Now I'm just very picky.
No, I've always been a very picky person, but I'll still go to the same restaurant and I will find something on the menu.
That's
why
I have to look at it. Like, if you tell me the place, I have to look at it in advance and then be like, all right, I can make do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me.
But fun fact, sometimes I'll eat before I go out just in case it's not.
Or have a snack in your bag. That's the thing that you need to have a snack in your bag just in case.
You heard it from us first.
Right. But I say all of this to say, like, you're still learning something new about the individual, regardless if they're your soulmate or not. Because that soup thing took me out. I'm like,
that is funny, though. That is so funny.
And, like, on cold days, like what we've been experiencing now, is nothing like having, like, a nice little bowl of, like, hot soup.
So she got me all into this, right? This has nothing. So you was about to make soup, and that's how this conversation came about?
So he was just like, I'm feeling kind of sick. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go and make you some soup. And he was like, soup? And I'm like, yeah, soup. And he's just like, I don't really eat soup. I'm like, what? Who doesn't eat soup? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you are.
Well, now you trying to remember when y'all went out to eat and somebody ordered soup?
Right. And I had that. It's exactly what it made me. It made me think about all the times that we went, sometimes they give you like the starters and you get to choose between soup and salad. And I'm like, homeboy really was selecting salad all the time. He was like, miss me with the soup. I don't want the soup.
That is funny.
And it never, and to me, it was kind of like maybe he didn't like the selection of soup that's there because not every soup is going to be popping.
It's not.
It's going to be something different. It could be like seasonal soup and stuff.
But I love me some
soup. I feel as though we're talking too much about soup. But
that was funny. But no, the point is, it's fun. Like we're just showing you now that you never know. You think you may know your partner well, but sometimes things change. So the fact that you didn't know about the soup part, that's funny. So it's just, for me, it'll be like, what do you mean you don't like that? You had it before. And it'll be like, so, it's learning about your partner every day. And I always think that's the fun part of being in relationships or married, because you're going to learn something new. I don't care what nobody says. You're going to learn something new.
Right. And that's a good thing. Because people change. Right. And people change daily, to be very honest with you. We just don't see it because it's not fully there visible. But we do change on a daily basis, and that's what's going to happen. And when you have that soulmate, it's just learning something new about it, and then that keeps your relationship exciting. Being able to learn something new about them, because so it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't know that, or okay, let me stop doing that, and then who knows, maybe that's going to change again in the next couple of months. But for the most part, that's where I feel as though what a soulmate means for me. It's a person that's going to accept my flaws and all, who is going to be my better half. And on top of that, understand my love language as well, so that way I can have an understanding of theirs, so we can make this work and mesh together. And just go be a person that is going to be there to walk through this journey for life with me, and is going to have my best interests at hand. Not there to pull me down, judge me, and all that other stuff, because I can get that from other people. My person, my soulmate, whether it's friend or my significant other, is going to have my back. It's not going to be somebody that is going to go somewhere and be out with another event and just talk. Not talk bad about me, but allow other people to talk bad about me and still come to my face like nothing ever happened. If you can't defend me there, then there's no reason for you to defend me now. You know what I mean?
It's the ride or die situation.
Right, exactly. Soulmate is a ride or die. But at the same time, be able to check you when you're doing something wrong. Don't get that misconstrued. If I'm doing something wrong, if I'm doing something that you don't necessarily like, please let me know. But watch your tone and delivery.
True.
Watch your tone and delivery, because you don't have to be mean or disrespectful or rude to let me know, to check me. There's ways that you can check a person without it becoming now I'm ready to fight you, that kind of thing.
And I think you just said it. You took the words out of my mouth. I feel like you just nailed it. I think we just nailed it. I think we nailed it in regards to this conversation. And I think we are good. I don't know how you feel.
I think I'm good. This was honestly not going to be a very long podcast, as this is our finale. So we're just summing up and tying a bow on us talking about dating. So we hope that you've enjoyed our first season. Season about talking about dating, but do keep in mind we're going to recycle this. So even though we're talking about dating this time, in the next season we're going to bring it back, and it's going to be different topics. So this is definitely our first episode. I'm excited with it. Coming to an end.
I can't believe we made it.
10 weeks.
10 weeks. What we started off saying it was only going to be 6. We pushed the limit and did 10, and we did a whole season. And like I said, I couldn't have a better co-host. That's what I'm saying. Here. So it's been an amazing journey so far, and the feedback, the love, the response that we got from our fellow podcasters. We see you, we interact with you on Instagram. We appreciate you. We shout you out as well on your platform. So definitely, I just want to say thank you. And I mean, with all that being said,
thank you again from our fellow podcasters, our sisters and brothers out there that's doing their thing with their podcasting, and then also to our ringers who are following us and things like that. We appreciate you more than you know. This is from the startup. There is the only research we do is how exactly what kind of equipment and stuff we need. What's the best thing that we can get our information out there on. But aside from that, it's a learning experience day by day by day. There is roadblocks, there's obstacles, but we're going about it the best way that we know how. Just off of the resources that we can find ourselves. So we want to thank each and every one of you for joining us for our first season. We'll be back in 3 weeks. So March 9th will be the next episode for season 2, where we'll be talking about friendships, and we'll be able to open up the phones and be able to answer any questions, or you can just join in about the show
and ask the questions. So my thing is, you don't have to wait for the topics that we're going to be saying.
No, not at all.
You could definitely just put your question and we're going to
bring it up.
And definitely if you have been asking us questions, we're going to answer those during that time that we are, not recorded for the hiatus. We'll definitely answer those on Instagram.
Oh, most definitely. We're still going to be very active on Instagram, posting and things like that. And for the rest of Black History Month and going over like those, our favorite small Black owned businesses and things like that. Any DMs that we get, we're going to be responding. Anything we're tagged in, we'll be responding as well. So although we're breaking for us recording, we're still going to be physically out there and stuff. And then just jumping back into the donation, so far we have actually for our goal of $1,000, we reached $400. We're $600 away, so we continue to make that build that rapport with the Child Center of New York, letting them know that, and we want to make sure that we can actually hit the goal before we submit them over. So we're $600 away. I believe that we'll be able to make it. We're also donating as well to make sure that we can hit that goal of $1,000. So it's not just on the basis of the holiday. It's just for the overall of making sure that we can get the kids whatever it is that they need, because they're unfortunately they don't have like the family connection that can get them to them. So we're their extended family. We're going to make sure we can get those things to them. So
definitely we appreciate that, and like I said, as always, it's just been a pleasure. I can't keep saying it, like it's just been a pleasure. I can't believe we wrapped up season 1.
I know.
And I always want to say, how you can find us. We're on all streaming services. I'm talking about YouTube, even though YouTube is giving us some challenges.
Please,
give us some challenges. So hopefully you will get to see videos from last week and this coming up week on YouTube uploaded. But you can also catch us on Spotify. Anchor, Apple, Google,
iTunes.
Yes. So you name it, we're on it. And definitely, I just want to thank you again for dealing with all the banter in my comments and my girls' comments as well, because we keep you entertained. But
we try to. We try to keep you entertained. And then also to our special guest that came on the show.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Starting with our first one, Adriana, who is the purpose. That's the reason why we actually met. So we want to give you a special shout out, because if it wasn't for you, we would have never met, and this podcast would have not taken off. So thank you so much for that. My cousin Tanisha, who came on the show talking about her dating experiences.
And then my girl Selena came on and just
about her book. Keep in mind, we're still extending that out until the 28th of this month. I know we said it in the very beginning, but just to reiterate, we want to show her some love as far as with her coming out with her own book that she published herself. And so we want to make sure. So just go ahead and DM us those proof of purchase, put it in your story, what have you, and then that'll be eligible for you to win this $200 Amazon gift card that is burning a hole in my purse. Please take it.
So please take that. And then we also are having a goal on Instagram. If we get 400 followers, we will be doing a giveaway as well. Yes, I said it. We will be doing a giveaway. We have been talking about it, but I wanted to announce it because I've been watching the numbers as we're growing in our platform. So once we get to the 400 follower, it's going to be a good giveaway.
Yes.
Or what I may do, whoever the 400 follower is, then you'll get DM'd and we will tell you what the gift is.
So tell a friend to start following, and then tell that friend to then start following once again. Or whatever. We're trying to build this empire here as being a podcaster.
Exactly. But I'm Andrea.
And I'm Shenequa. And you're listening to So With This Ring. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great one.
Yep.